my goodness, welcome back. Today we're talking Fairytail Magistus. I'm going to show you a 1-card combo featuring Spenta. I am super proud of myself. I spent hours and hours and hours thinking of this combo. There's 2 different ways to do this combo, one that respects Nib and one that totally disrespects Nib. Pick your poison. Shout out to my boyfriend for helping me with this combo. If it exists somewhere else on the internet and someone else thought of it, well, then I could have made this easier on myself and found their combo first. But from my brain to yours, 1-card combo, Spenta, Fairytail Magistus combo video. Let's do it. Okay, 1-card combo featuring Spenta. We're going to disrespect Nib first, and then we'll respect Nib later. So Spenta, you are going to discard in order to search, not banish, Malice player. We are going to search, I call her Rigatoni. Her name's Reliona, the Magistus of Ved. And on normal or special summon, she's going to allow us to add a Magistus spell trap from deck to hand. We are going to add Ved. So we add Ved, and this is has 2 effects. If you control a Magistus, you can send a spellcaster monster or 1 spell from deck to grave, or when your opponent activates an effect, special summon Magistus or Witchcrafter monster from deck or hand. We are going to activate her, and we are going to send it's Jenny from the block. Why are we sending Jenny? Because she has the effect in grave. You can banish her and copy the effect of a Witchcrafter spell, which means you no longer need to meet this when effect to special. So we're going to send Jenny. We are going to banish Jenny to copy Ved, and that is going to allow us to special Zerora. We're going to special Zerora. We're going to use Zerora's effect, targeting himself to equip him with a Magistus monster from Extra. Going to equip him with Artemis. I know equip spells can go anywhere. I like to keep them underneath the monster they're equipped to, so I don't forget. This is going to trigger the Zerora effect that when he becomes equipped, you can summon a spellcaster from grave in defense. So we're going to summon back the Spenta. We're then going to use the ignition effect of Artemis to search a Magistus monster. We are going to search Crowley. Crowley has the effect that when he's added to hand, except by drawing, you can activate him to special and then immediately fuse. We're going to activate him to special. We are not going to fuse. We are instead now going to overlay. So we are going to go ahead and overlay our Spenta and our Rigatoni into Wiccat. So this is the bridge. 2 spellcasters is going to get you, any 2 spellcasters, gets you into Wiccat. She allows you to detach in order to send. So we're going to detach 2. We're going to send 2 Fairytails, or Fairytail cards. So we're going to send Match Girl. We're going to send Luna to grave. Now we're going to go ahead and use the effect of Spenta to banish herself in order to attach a Magistus monster from extra deck or graveyard as an equip spell. We are going to go ahead and attach Rigatoni. We'll just go ahead and attach to the Zerora. It doesn't really matter because we're going to use these 2 monster cards to contact fuse into who I call Chorizo. He's Choroso, but I call him Chorizo. We're going to contact fuse into Choroso. The reason for this is so that way we can overlay the Chorizo and the Crowley into Ninaru. This is important to do it in this order because later we're going to be spellcaster locked, and this girl's a rock. Don't know why they made her a rock, but she has the effect that she's going to allow us to add a level 4 or higher spellcaster monster from graveyard to hand by detaching. So we're going to overlay. We're going to detach. We are going to add back the Luna. Now we're ready to get spellcaster locked. We are going to activate Match Girl in grave. She activates in hand or in grave. If you control a monster, a spellcaster with 1850, you can special her. So we're going to go ahead and special summon Match Girl. She has the on summon effect in order to search a Fairytail spell or trap. Activate her, and we are going to search our fusion spell, Tales of the Fairytales. It is a soft once per turn fusion, hard once per turn re-equip from grave. So this is our hand. This is our field. We are going to go ahead and attach it to Match Girl, and then we are going to use the effect to fuse. So we are going to send these 3. Well, technically these 2, but since the Tails is equipped, it will also go to grave. And we are going to fuse into Weaver. Weaver has an ignition effect to special a Fairytale monster from deck. So we are going to use her effect to special Snow because we want to make sure we get Snow in the graveyard by the end of all of this. Now we're going to go ahead and re-equip Tails from graveyard. When it is re-equipped, I'm going to go ahead and just equip it to the Snow. Actually, let's equip it to the Weaver this time. I'm going to equip it to Weaver. When it is re-equipped from grave, you get an additional normal summon of an 1850. We're going to normal summon Luna. Normal summoning Luna allows us to add 1 spellcaster monster with 1850 from deck to hand. We are going to add the Genia of the Ring, because she's going to allow us to special summon by targeting a monster and making it a spellcaster. So here is our hand. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and fuse, and we are going to fuse with the Snow. And we also could fuse with the Genia. So at this point, I think leaving the Luna out would be better. But the way that I'd been practicing it is I was fusing with these two in order to go into Teller. So we're going to go into Teller of Fairytales. If you're going second and you're able and you're doing this combo, when you have Match Girl out, you want to pay 500 to rename something Prince of Fairies. Weaver is going to make whatever was named Prince of Fairies into a spellcaster, which is going to allow you to go into Teller. And Teller has a blow up all cards your opponent controls if you fuse with Prince of Fairies. So we're going to go into Teller. She also has the effect that your Fairytale monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. So ending on her going first is also really good. We're going to go ahead and special Jenny. We can target whatever. I'll target Zorora to make him a 2-time spellcaster. And now the whole reason we kept Zorora out is because we want to get into our kind of pseudo floodgate. We're going to go into the Synchro Zorora. He has the on-summon effect to equip a Magistus monster from extra deck to this card. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters with the same card type as a Magistus monster in your spell trap zone. So when we special him, I'm going to put him up here. We are then going to equip my amazing proxy. Still waiting on this guy. 20-cent card. Didn't have it. And we're going to equip him in order to make our opponent not be able to use synchros. Looking at you. Cool tune. And Elf Notes. Last but not least, we do have Rigatoni in Grave. And she is going to allow us to banish herself to also equip from Grave. It just can't be a level 4 spellcaster, so we can also lock our opponent off of links. Okay, so this is the end board disrespecting Nib. There's definitely things that can be improved upon. I'm still tinkering with it, but basically just is with your end board, you have your opponent cannot activate the effects of synchros and links. You have a negate. You have another negate that if you special summon a light Fairytail while she is on the, basically, if you special summon a non-earth, so it's going to be light, a non-earth Fairytail while she's on the board, she is a monster negate. She's also gaining plus 1,000 from this. Ninadu probably should have ended up putting in defense just to have, she has a larger defense. And we have Snow in Grave. That will trigger the Weaver for the negate. And so here's one version of a Spenta combo that disrespects Nib. Let me show you the one that respects Nib. Okay, I kind of messed with the lighting. I don't know if this is better or not. I'm still trying to get the lighting good for these. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and, again, with Spenta, this one respects Nib. I actually think redoing this is the better combo anyway, especially because it respects Nib. We'll talk about Ash and this deck and Droll in a separate line of thinking. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and once again discard Spenta. It's going to start exactly the same. We are going to search Rigatoni. We are going to normal Rigatoni. That is going to let us add Ved. We are going to activate Ved, sending Jenny from the block. Then we're going to activate Jenny from the block, banishing her in the Ved, and we are going into Zorora. The difference is now going to be what we are equipping. So summon 1, summon 2. We are going to activate the Zorora, but we are not going to equip to him. So we are going to instead go ahead and equip. This time we're actually going to go ahead and equip the Synchro to Rigatoni. So we're going to go ahead and equip there. This is now going to allow us to use these two to go into Chorizo. So this is now summon 3. We are going to banish Spenta in order to attach, we're still not going to attach Aurora, we are actually going to attach Artemis to the Chorizo. So then Artemis is going to allow us to search. Now we're going to go ahead and search Crowley. Crowley activate to special and fuse. This is summon 4. The fuse will be summon 5. The reason this respects Nib is we are fusing into the Magistus monster negate. So once we have this up and they try to nib us, we just negate it. And if they don't nib us, we have a Magistus negate on the board. So we are going to go ahead and fuse. This is going to take the, another reason we had to go into Chorizo is it requires a fusion, synchro, Exes or link monster, and a Magistus. So we're going to go ahead and fuse away into the Zorora. I am going to leave him down here just in case, for this combo, in case I decide to link. Again, these combos are open to interpretation. If you see a better way, a more efficient way, a new line, please let me know. I've spent a lot of time tinkering, and I love hearing feedback. He has the effect to target one effect monster in your graveyard or your opponent controls and equip that effect's monster to this card. That's going to allow you to do the negate, which is going to let you send a face-up Magistus monster card you control to the graveyard. So we are actually going to go ahead and just bring back the synchro to attach to him. So now the negate is live. Okay, so now we can actually go ahead and try to get something equipped to him with Rigatoni. Rigatoni is going to banish herself, targeting the Zorora to equip a non-level 4 spellcaster. So we can just go ahead and equip the Chorizo. He has the effect that when he becomes equipped, he can summon a level 4 spellcaster from deck. This is why we waited to equip to him, because now we can go ahead and summon a level 4 from deck. I'm a liar. He lets us summon from graveyard. So we equip and so the reason we wait to equip to him is because now we're going to be able to summon a level 4 from graveyard in defense. We're going to go ahead and summon Crowley. And here, once again, is our bridge. We're going to use these two to go into Wiccat. We're going to detach 2 from Wiccat. And then here's where you kind of get to have a couple choices with what you're going to send. So if you send the Tales of the Fairytail, you are going to be able to equip it from grave, but then you only get 1 fuse. So this is normally why I like to go ahead and send Match Girl and Luna. The thing about this line, though, is now you are not going to have a way to go into Ninaru because you have to overlay 2 and then in order to add back the Luna in order to get the normal summon off the Luna. So I actually think in this line, you would send Match Girl and Tales of the Fairytales. This is going to be fine. We're still going to end on a really strong board. So it's okay if we get Spellcaster locked at this point. We're not planning on summoning the Rock. So we can go ahead and activate Match Girl to special because we control an 1850. Match Girl to search. Now we're going to go ahead and search Fairytale Ball. Did not include this in the last combo, but this is basically a way for your Fairytale monsters to attack directly. So you can go for game. And it also says, once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster and you control a Fairytale monster, which we will, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects. Also, its name becomes Prince of Fairies. So it is a negate. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Fairytale monster or 1 Fairytale Tales from deck to banishment. So we're still going to go ahead and get our normal summon off the Luna because we are going to activate this. Boop, boop, boop. And we are going to now instead search the Luna. Okay. Equip from grave. When it is equipped from grave, additional normal summon. Luna is going to allow us. Let's go ahead. And so we have a couple choices, right? Because we're only going to get 1 fuse. We could search Jenny to get another monster. We no longer have a tuner, though. That's the other thing about doing this is we're not going to get into the synchro, like, floodgate. I haven't figured out a way to do that yet. I'm still tinkering with it. So I almost think searching Snow because it's also going to allow us to fuse from hand. So we're going to go ahead and use the effect to fuse. And I think ending on Teller is actually going to be our better choice. So we can go ahead and use Snow. And let's go ahead and use Wiccat because this does give 1,000. So I think leaving the Wiccat out is fine. Wiccat does have a graveyard, so you can make a different decision on this as well. And then we will have our tellers. So this would be the end board as it stands. With Respecting Nib, again, there's still tinkering and things to be done, but Respecting Nib, the 5th summon is the Omni Negate. I do think there's a way to respect Nib with most of these combos because she is also, oh, not Omni Negate, Monster Negate. She is also a Monster Negate. So if you're doing Fairytale lines trying to get her out by the 5th summon, we have Snow Engrave in order to banish and summon. We have, if we hadn't used it yet, Negate, 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 3 negates. Luna to quick effect, return her back to hand and return something else back to hand. And also we have Wiccat. If for some reason Wiccat gets to grave, or this is why I'm saying too, Wiccat in grave might have been another good thing to do instead. So fusing with her, because it says if this card's in the graveyard, quick effect, you can target 1 Fairytale monster you control whose original attribute is light. Special summon this card, and if you do, send that monster to the graveyard. So there we go. End board Respecting Nib. I'm still tinkering with a lot of combos. Those are just 2 different combo lines with Spenta. I am definitely still working through them and trying to improve them as much as possible, but I think getting through a at least respects Nib line. The goal realistically, well, maybe unrealistically, is to try to end with all the spells. So there's another Fairytale spell called Once Upon a Fairytale, And this one has the ability to special summon a light monster from hand grave banishment. So this, if you also, it would be nice to get the double fuses and end on Weaver. Because Weaver, when you summon a non-earth, is another monster negate and renames Prince of Fairies. I believe she's another way to rename. Yeah. So trying to work through, you want to try to get 3 fuses. The Crowley fuse, you want to try to search Tails in order to get the Tails fuse, and then also re-equip it from Graveyard and get the Graveyard fuse. But overall, I really like this deck. I think there's a lot of ways to play it and a lot of cool lines to discover. And as I discover more and as I continue to grow in my Fairytail Magistus era, I will be sure to share it with you. Hope this video was helpful. Hope more people decide to play this really fun deck in Blazing Gold Minion format. And I will see you on the next one.